You take two tech tuber or a tech tuber and you take both CPUs, they're gonna press the Cinebench button. How the is the new CPU gonna beat the old one without hyper-threading? Are we just assuming these leaks are accurate then, right? 5.5 gigahertz. I'm assuming that's probably single core as well, right? And no hyper-threading. Let's just say 5.5. Let's give it the best case scenario, okay? Let's give it the best case scenario to it. So let's say 5.5 gigahertz, 8P. I'm surprised they actually went with 8P cores. Good for them. 8P, no hyper-threading. What did they say for IPC? May not. This guy's may not be 15% higher. Okay, let's go fucking bananas and say 15% IPC. Even though, yeah, let's go fucking bananas. Yeah, might as well. But this configuration here of the new i9 or whatever is probably the absolute insane best case scenario. Let's just say this is the absolute best case scenario for that chip, right? And this is single core. Let's say it's all core. Let's just say it's all core. 4900 KS, 6 gigahertz all core. Hyper threading, right? So what is that? Let's see. 5.5 times 1.15, 6.35, 325 gigahertz equivalent, right? You can always do math when it comes to this kind of stuff, and you can pretty much find out exactly where it is. So let's say it's a 6.2 gigahertz equivalent to a 4900 KS, right? So then you can 6 divided by 6. So it would be a 5.5% improvement. 5.5% improvement in single core. Notice I didn't say multi-core, right? If you take the hyper-threading, it's like 18 to 22% multi-threading performance. It's like a 20%. It's like in Cinebench with linear scaling. Whatever, like if you turn hyper-threading off, you turn that shit on, you get like 20% in Cinebench. I could be off on that. It's been a long time since I tested that, but that's from what I remember. It's about 20%, right? Easy enough to test. You just run Cinebench and get the score down, right? Now, 20%, 6 gigahertz times 1.2. So hyper threading, oh my god, hyper threading included into the mix. A 14900 KS has 7.2 gigahertz single core, or what do you want to call it? No hyper threading equivalent. Let me finish that thought. It's like, okay, here's how it's gonna work. Basically, this is kind of the weird ass fucking thing about this entire situation. Long story short, it's gonna be a hard pass. Long story short, but this is kind of how it's gonna play out, right? You're playing, what's a very single core based game? Dragon's Dogma. You're playing Dragon's Dogma 2. It uses like 2 fucking threads or whatever the hell that game does, right? You're gonna see the 285K be 5 or not, assuming perfect scaling, 5.5% faster than a 1400 KS. In that game, you take Warzone which you can manually set how many threads you want it to use. Now you have that 20% hyper threading working in your favor, right? You're going to be 14.5% slower than 1400 KS. There you go. So games, so any game that's 8 threads or less, single player titles for the most part, you'll get 5%. Games that use 9 threads or more, Warzone, Battlefield, what are some other examples? I mean, fucking Warzone and Battlefield, literally. I can't think off the top of my head right now. I haven't tested too many other fucking games, but any game that uses more than 8 threads, 1400 KS will annihilate it because of the hyper threading, right? Now, here's the bigger question to all this. What refresh rate is your monitor? And are you capping it already? There you go. That's the real answer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is the absolute best case scenario, though, for the assuming. Yeah, you just do the math. Yeah. Oh, you can always do the math, man. That's what I'm saying, right? So, if I would rather have the hyper threading. Honestly, I think that's a huge miss on Intel's part. My God, that's a fucking miss, dude. It's not even an upgrade now. I don't know how they're gonna sell that unless their E-cores have mad IPC increase too. Basically, how are they gonna sell this to tech tubers, right? You take a tech tuber, and you take both CPUs, they're gonna press the Cinebench button. How the fuck is the new CPU gonna beat the old one without hyper threading? That's the part that doesn't really make any sense, because that 15% IPC does not make up for the unless there's 15% on the E-cores too. Okay, then maybe, right? Then maybe. Then it might tie it in fucking Cinebench, right?
Oh yeah.
And then that's kind of misleading as well, because if it ties it in Cinebench, or if it even beats it in Cinebench, people are gonna think it's a faster CPU when it's actually not, right? Because Warzone doesn't use E-cores. Battlefield doesn't use E-cores. They don't fucking use that shit, right? They only use P with hyper threading, right? But if this ends up being the case, 1400 KS is gonna be way faster, dude. It'll be the same single thread, but the other one has hyper threading. That'll be the case, right? Assuming you have DDR5 8000 running though, or 7800 or whatever, right? Because you have to get your memory speeds up there and your timings tight to get that IPC going on Raptor Lake, right? Out of the box though, that would be a completely different argument now. What if 8000 just works on 15th gen, and then you have your fucking idiot tech tubers that are like, we're gonna use 6000 on Raptor Lake and we're gonna use 8000 on 15th gen. That's gonna I can already see the misinformation of next gen gonna be out of fucking control, dude. It's gonna be like DDR4 low latency 3200. Oh yeah, the misinformation is gonna be fucking bananas, dude. Yeah, realistically, honestly, I expect a 7% IPC. It's always 7. I expect, my prediction is 7% IPC increase. 5.2 gigahertz. That's what I'm expecting. But I'm expecting those E-cores to be banging or bangers, because they have to make up that fucking Cinebench score somehow. If they don't, they know they're fucked from tech tubers. They basically have to do something to get the Cinebench score back up. So I think they're gonna focus really heavily on those E-cores. You know what we haven't even talked about yet? If there will be an Intel dip with this shit. It will really depend. It's really gonna depend on how those tiles are set up, man. MCM, two CPU core dies. Yeah, talking to a client IO die. Oh no. Which handles all the SoC connectivity. Oh no. Stay the fuck away from this, dude. Steer clear. Forget, never mind. Steer clear, man. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that, dude. Yeah, you get your 14th gen monolithic and you chill forever. That's it, man. 14th gen is the last fucking CPU. I'm gonna go buy some more fucking 1400Ks right now. I gotta stock up on those bitches, man. Fuck this. Oh my god. They didn't learn from AMD's mistakes. I mean, yeah, I'll still test it. Obviously, maybe they figured out a way to, if they have an interposer or something. I don't know how they're gonna connect them. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll be fine. But just the only reason I'm so hostile towards the idea is because of the way AMD did it and how dog shit it is, right? So I'm like biased against chiplets in general altogether. But hey, we'll go into next gen with an open mind, and maybe they did it correctly. We won't know, right? But if I had to make a gamble, I'll stick to my 14th gen. I'm good. What's the goal? I already maxed out all my fucking games. If anything, I'll just get a higher binned 14900KS and run 6.2 gigahertz all core, because that makes a lot of sense. 6200 divided by 6000. There's 3% right there. Now 15th gen is only 2% better on single core.